Nothing new, okay? I know the organizers right now would be feeling, oh, we've got a speaker coming in all the way from Delhi to speak, and 70% of the hall just left. They don't know I'm used to this, and here's the reason why. For that, one more story. Once I was invited to speak at a government event. Every speaker asks how many people would be there, what kind of challenges they have. I asked, and they said, oh, you'll have 250 people, your session is at 4 o'clock. Like, okay, it's not the last session, good. The minister was supposed to come in at 2, speak for 20 minutes. Came at 3, spoke for 2 hours. Yeah? No ministers here, right? Good, okay. Let's close the door. I don't want the ministers outside hearing what I'm... Oh, okay. Now, and it wasn't really one of the best speakers. You know how ministers are. 5 people leaving, 10 people leaving, 250 people hall. And after the speaker, there were 7 speakers left. I was the 7th one. Lucky me. Yeah? So by the time I came onto the stage and I got the mic, there were 7 speakers sitting on the dais, and there were 8 people in the audience. Okay? So honestly, I'm happy you guys are here. Okay, it could have been much worse. I've seen much worse. But, you know, this brings up a very interesting point. In the early days, I used to feel nervous. I used to have self-doubt. Why? When I come up, why do people leave? Doesn't happen all the time, but whenever it does. And slowly, as I started to spend time in the networking world, I understand that this is something that everybody believes they know. Right? Now, look at the situation. Here are some stats. In a country of 1.2 billion people, you're looking at the only strategic networking coach, number 1. So that's how we feel networking is important. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's doing anything. There are no trainers. There are no professional bodies. Nothing. Zilch, zero. 1.25 billion people. That's fact number 1. Fact number 2. Raise your hand if you believe that whichever part of life you're in, whether you're a professional, whether you're a business owner, whatever you're doing, networking is one of the key most important skills that you need. Show of hands if you agree. Okay, take a look around in the room. Keep your hands up, look around, yeah? I don't see anyone whose hand is not up. Good, okay. Now, everybody believes networking is one of the key skills and there is no professional trainer, anybody. That's 2 things. Third thing, somebody here was just talking about we've got a university that covers everything. I wanted to get up there and start a separate conversation. I'm saying, oh, hi. Do you guys do anything on networking? Now we're talking about creating entrepreneurs. We're talking about entrepreneurships. We're talking about professionals growing in career. We're saying that networking is critical. And our education system is doing nothing about it. If you combine these 3 things, it creates a scenario where nobody's talking about networking. Everybody believes they know it. Everybody is struggling at it. Yeah? Almost everyone. And nothing's being done. And that's the reason I get. Yeah? Because everybody believes they know. But it's okay. I've done session, 7-minute talk with 8 people. I think I can manage 20-minute talk with 30. Okay, good. Let's see. So my goal today is to give you guys a little different perspective on networking. That's it. That's all I want to achieve. Okay. I've spoken with the TiE team here. I've understood what kind of challenges they understand. And I'm going to try and package that nicely. I'll try not to bore you to death. I'd like to keep it interactive. Not too much because the time is tight. If you have a thought, do raise your hand. Once my sentence is complete, I will have a conversation with you. Otherwise, what we can do is we can leave close to 5-10 minutes later for Q&A. Okay? We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by the ear. Okay. I'm going to make a very bold statement to start with. And this bold statement someday will land me into trouble. And this statement is this, that as a world, as business owners, as a society, we've either misunderstood networking or we haven't understood it at all. Okay? Now, I'm going to say it again. We've either misunderstood networking or we've perhaps not understood it at all. Now, what is the networking that we understand as of today? It means coming to events, conferences, exchanging cards, okay, looking to see, can I sell to him? Can I get something from him? No? Okay, I'll go on to the next one. No? No. I can go, you're my best friend. Yeah? That's what networking is, okay? And this is such a saddening situation because this happens. I call this term card dispensing machine, CDMs. We become card dispensing machines. Hi, I'm Paritosh Pathak. Hi, I'm Paritosh Pathak. Hi, I'm Paritosh. And this is what I do end of the day. And when I go back and look at the number of cards, wow. I've met so many people. What am I going to do with them? I'll figure out tomorrow. You stay on my desk. You cards, you stay on my desk. And I go to my desk tomorrow. I'm like, I'm going to do something with you. I go through the cards. Half the people, 80% of the people, I can't even remember. Kiske card the? Yeah, that happens. I'm like, but you stay on the card. A few days later, we put a rubber band on it. Your laughter tells me, what do you do, okay? We put a rubber band on it, कि ये आगे पीछे ना हो जाए, ये इस पे ये एक जगह रहने चाहिए, ठीक है? A few days later, we add a sticky कि ये TiECON के cards आएंगे, ठीक है? And another week, 10 days down the line, we tell ourselves कि यार अब तक तो किसी को मैं याद भी नहीं होऊंगा, मेरे को कोई याद नहीं है, किसी को मैं याद भी नहीं होऊंगा, तो you go under the drawer. साल डेढ़ साल बाद उस पर डस्ट लगे कि इनका अब तो बिल्कुल ही कुछ नहीं हो सकता, तो go into the bin. That is the networking that we do. Okay? There's a huge amount of potential in those cards, but that's where they go all the time. So how do we change this? How do we become better networkers? How do we become the kind of person who can approach anyone, start a conversation, not feel hesitant? How do we become the kind of person who can talk to an investor? How do we become the kind of person who can talk to the Thai chair? How do we become the person who is a networker? And that's where the answer is. You have to become a networker. A poor musician cannot make great music. A poor artist cannot make great art. A poor networker cannot be great at networking. So the number one thing we have to do is we have to change ourselves. And to change ourselves, we need to understand truly what networking is. I'll give you my definition of networking that I stand by. I will bet everything I have, including my life, on this definition. And it is this. Networking is about, 3 words, networking is about building great networks. Yeah? Sounds very obvious. It's not. But it's simply about building great networks. It's not about meeting someone today and thinking, can I sell to this person? Can I get something from this person? It's about meeting good people, bringing them into our network, staying in touch with them. Why? Because we don't know. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Has it ever happened with you? Let me ask you this. Has it ever happened with you that you met someone at a conference, at an event, you agreed that we'll stay in touch. We all know what happens after that. We don't. And 6 months, a year down the line, you find yourself in a situation where you say, oh my God, if only I'd stayed in touch with that person, the problem that I have today could have been solved. Ever happened? Yes. How many times? Countless? A number of times here? Well, this stops today. This stops today. It's not about the number of people you meet. It's not. It's about the quality of conversations. Yeah? The reason we're not able to have quality conversations is because there are a couple of fears of networking. And I'm going to talk about those fears, okay? Fear number 1, fear of rejection. Yeah? How do I approach this person? What do I say? What if I don't have anything to say? What will I say after hello? What if we have a conversation and there's that awkward silence where I start looking at my cell phone, the person looks at the wall, and goes, yaar, kya karna hai? Bacha chalo ji, very nice meeting you, let's stay in touch. Let's stay in touch has become such a cliched statement that it's like, acha chalo, bye bye yaar. It's a new bye bye, let's stay in touch. Okay. So thank you. Number one fear of rejection. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give you the fears and I'll tell you how to overcome them, okay? And I promise you, it's easier than you can imagine. Easier than you can imagine. Okay. Number 2, fear. Okay. Fear of being sold to. Fear of rejection, fear of being sold to. What is fear of being sold to? Why is this person coming to me? अब गए मेरे 5 मिनट, अब ये बेचेगा, ठीक है, अब ये कहानी सुनाएगा. And this is what we do. We approach, we pull a card out and we say, hi, I'm Paritosh, Pathak, I'm a strategic networking coach. I help business owners and organizations adapt the power of networking. By the way, Audi is a client, Genpact's a client, Australia Trade Commission is a client. आप कौन सी organization में हम आपके लिए भी कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल आप बताइए कब मिल सकते हैं, बिल्कुल मिलेंगे. We do all of that. Yeah? So these actions that we have has created this fear of being sold to, that when somebody is approaching, our mind is like, oh my God, भगवान बचाए क्या होने वाला है. We're okay अगर मैं जाके किसी को करूं, that is acceptable. हाँ, कोई और मेरे को ना करे. वाह भी वाह. मिथुन दा कहते हैं ना, क्या बात, क्या बात, क्या बात. I still don't understand why he says that, but it's okay. I think उनको तकिया कलाम चाहिए वहां बैठ के कुछ करने के लिए. ठीक है. चलो. So that's the second fear. Third fear. Fear of no return. मेरे को क्या मिलेगा अगर मैं अगले की मदद कर भी सकता हूँ? Why? I'm not going to see this person ever again. And that's why we become transactional in our approach. And if I network with you and you're not a prospect for me or you're not a person of interest for me, why? Why should I even spend time? And that's a question that we all struggle with. Because we have this question, we become the CDMs. Hi, I'm Paritosh. Yeah? Good. Okay. So rule number one. I'll tell you the answers to these in a bit, but rule number one, take on this challenge. Don't pull out your business card till the time other person doesn't ask for it. Okay? You don't respect your business card, that is why they don't. Start respecting it. And please, I invite you to one thing. See all the seasoned people, see all the successful people, notice them. Do they start their conversation with the business cards? Any hint there? Yeah? Okay. No. So, stop. And this is what happens. The challenge is when I don't pull out my business card, I have to have a conversation in a way where you want to ask for my card. When you ask for my card, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days down the line, there are higher chances that you will look at the card and remember ki ye kiska tha. Research suggests that anything that we ask for stays in the mind 80% higher, stronger, longer. Anything that we ask for, okay? Now, the question comes down to is, how do I get you to ask for my card? मैं तो अपनी तरफ से उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए अपना कार्ड निकाल के आपको देके राम कथा सुना देता हूँ ना. So how do I avoid that? And this is where networking comes in. The real networking. The real networking is always about the other person. Always about the other person. It's always about walking up to someone and starting to have a conversation about that someone. Just about that someone. Not about you. Completely counterintuitive. बिल्कुल उल्टा बता रहा हूँ. Completely forget yourself. You approach someone, you say, hi, I'm Paritosh Pathak. What's your name? What do you do? Okay? And then take genuine interest. Genuine interest. Don't pretend. Our brain has this technology where it can identify inconsistent behavior. Okay? We can often tell when somebody's not interested, like body language we can read. Yeah? So take genuine interest. Now let me ask you this. Let's say you haven't met me yet, you don't know I'm a speaker, where you're standing in the crowd, I'm standing in the crowd, I approach you and I start speaking with you. Okay? I'm taking interest. I'm talking about you, I'm talking about what you do, I'm talking about why you do what you do, I'm taking genuine interest. Okay? And I'm trying to see how can I help. How long will it be? How long will it be before you start wondering who I am, what do I do? Not much, right? Not much. So here is a situation, option one, where I approach someone, I take my card out and I blah. Sorry, this is being recorded, I should not be doing all of this. I get carried away, okay? Where I give everything that I can, that elevator pitch. So now we're going to yeah, I give my elevator pitch even without she asking for it. The option two is I come and I start talking to the showman and say, what do you do? Tell me about you. Oh, you do this? Oh, by the way, I've got this friend, I think you guys should connect. That's networking. Now this person gets entrusted. The moment we start to create, and please write this down, create value in every conversation, every damn conversation that you're having, you should be looking to just do one thing. Create value for the other person. Okay? And I know this is completely counterintuitive. Right now, you guys might be thinking, यार जब मौका था निकल गया होता तो अच्छा होता. ठीक है? But I tell you what, this is what it is. I'll share a quick story, how I am here today in front of you. 3-4 years ago, I was a regular member at TiE. Okay, I'd gone there. There's a gentleman called Navyug Mohnot. I don't know. Do you guys know anyone? Committee, QAI Global. Yes. Okay. Navyug Mohnot. And I approached and I started talking to him, and I'm doing my thing. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about what he does, so on and so forth. So a minute later, he asked, "By the way, Paritosh, what do you do?" I told him what I do. Okay. He says, "Okay, you know what? I've got a team of consultants. I would want you to come and train them. Come and meet me." And I went, "Wow, business deal, brilliant." Okay. 2 days later, I'm in Naveed's office at QAI in Nehru Place. Yeah. Now, I did not know that he's the kind of guy who bought a franchise, ran it so well that he bought the company that sold him the franchise. Yeah? Now, that's the kind of guy he is. I wasn't prepared for this meeting. I wasn't prepared to meet this kind of guy. Yeah? Ever had that feeling where somebody's asking you questions and you're becoming smaller and smaller and chair is becoming bigger and bigger? Ever happened? The only time that's happened to me in life. I knew the answers, I knew what he was asking for, but I just did not have the caliber to answer in the way that he was asking. And that was a bigger fight. To answer this, why are you not answering it? Okay? So anyways, I saw that the meeting is going down south. So I decided to implement my rule. I said, okay, I may not get the project, but I will create value before I go. So I said to Navyug, now Navyug, I clearly know I'm not getting this project. He started laughing. I said, okay, but here's what it is. Why don't I give you an offer? Why don't I do a completely pro bono session? You give me 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes for your team. Yeah? If nothing else, I'll at least create a little bit of value for your team. And we can see if you ever want to work after that or you don't want to work after that. He said, okay, done. A week later, I was there doing the session. Amazing feedback. Everybody loved me. Yeah? And when I got back, I was again dancing. Ab to mil gaya. 10 days went by. While going out, Navyug said, okay, Paritosh, we'll be in touch. We're going to do something. I'm going for a holiday. When I'm back, we'll be in touch. So 10 days went by, 20 days went by. I'm seeing on Facebook photograph of this country, that country, that country. It's all coming. Then I see his photographs of India keep coming in and start to come in. I'm like, okay, he's back. So I dropped them an email saying, hope you had a fun holiday. Let me know when can we meet. Okay, no response. Another few days went by, another few days went by. No response. 2-3 attempts, no response. Then one fine day, my phone rings. And there is the name of Navyug Mohnot. And I went, I'll get in. Okay? But he comes up and I pick up the phone and say, hi Navyug. He says, Paritosh, you know, yaar, wo to dekhenge jab hoga. Mujhe ye bata ki TiE ka ek, there's a small TiE Institute is a concept in Delhi. Yeah? Where they do smaller sessions, 20, 30, 40 people. The crowd is usually bigger than this. Okay? And he said, would you be willing to come and speak there? I said, yeah, why not? I like speaking, I would like to. Went and spoke. Good feedback, invited me to another one. He did 2-3. I did not know at that point in time he was testing me if I could speak at TiECON. A year later, I was speaking at TiECON. Believe you me, at that point in time, being a speaker at TiECON was at least 5 years away in my strategy. I had just shortened my strategy by 5 years by implementing these 2-3, thank you, these 2-3 simple things. Number one, approaching someone, not selling to them. Number two, taking genuine interest. Number three, trying to figure out how can I create value for them. So speaker at TiECON, then I became charter member at TiECON. I became part of the TiECON committee. From there, I've been to TiE Pune to speak at. From there, God knows how many connects. I've got a way with which I track my network. If I could show you, you'll be blown away. You'll be blown away. What my network has grown after meeting this one person, Navik. And sometimes I think that had I been in the typical networking mindset, I would just have approached him and said, "Hi Navik, this is me. Oh, by the way, this is what I do." What could have happened after that? God knows. Okay? It's purely about building a great network. You've heard that line, your network is your net worth? Ever heard it? Yeah? Okay, if you haven't, I'm going to repeat it again. Your network is your net worth. Understand what it means. You can open doors that you can't imagine opening if you have the right kind of network around you. You can get support that you can't imagine getting if you have the right kind of network around you. And we're wasting it off. We're wasting it off just trying to push a card down someone and hoping that this transactional attitude would lead us something. Yeah? 100% of my business walks into my door. I'm a business owner, okay? 100%. A $1.2 billion company became my client while I was sitting at my home on the sofa. $1.2 billion. No proposal, nothing. 2 phone calls, same day, done. The first time I met this company is called Genpact. The first time I met the company was the day I'd gone there to do a training. It happened through my network. Happened through a person that I have been meeting several times, just trying to figure out how can I help that person. And that person had put in such a strong recommendation into that company that they did not want a proposal, they did not want anything. They simply said, "Okay, Paritosh, tell us how much do you cost, tell us how long this training is going to be, and let's just get it done." And I don't know what will come out of my network day after tomorrow. Tomorrow, whenever. I just don't know. All I'm doing is I'm going around, meeting good people, making sure that I'm able to stay in touch with them, and just creating value. Always looking to help. Okay? That's the thing you need to do. If you create value for people, you actually don't even need to stay in touch with them. They'll remember you. They'll just remember you. This person who got me Genpact, I hadn't met that person for at least 1.5 years. 1.5 years. Just imagine this. Every single client of mine has literally walked into my door. Literally. And this is just one side of the coin, which is clients. So much help that I get from my network, so much support I get from my network. Today, Naveeb's a mentor to me. Yeah? He's the kind of person that a lot of people line up to actually go and have one meeting with him. And I call him and say, "Naveeb, come on, sakte," and I go and meet him once, twice, thrice a month. He gives that kind of time. When you build a network, you can get so much more than business. One thing you must get out of your network is mentors. Okay? So when you get out of this room, when you go out there, drop your fear. Completely drop your fear. Walk up to people, have an extremely strong sense of self-worth. I'm going to talk on this for a moment, okay? Extremely strong sense of self-worth. There's this quote that says that the value that the world puts on us, is almost identical to the value we put on ourselves. Okay? And I'm going to ask you a question and give you 5 seconds to think of the answer. I don't need you to answer this. Okay? But what kind of value do you put on yourself? What do you think about yourself? Are these positive thoughts? Are these negative thoughts? On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is your self-worth? Don't answer these, please, okay? But please understand that till the time you don't believe in yourself, the other person won't. And because you don't believe in yourself, You approach a mentor, you approach an investor, you approach somebody else, they can sense it, they can see it. They can see where you're coming from. They can see you're unsure. They can see that your focus is the product. What you need to know is that in networking, the most selling product is you. Does not matter what you do. For example, I'm here. Whether you guys choose to believe me or choose not to believe me has nothing to do with the fact that I'm India's only strategic networking coach. It has simply got to do with the fact, what kind of value am I creating for you standing here? What do you feel? Do you feel that I believe in what I'm doing or not? If you feel that way, you'll believe in me. Whatever title I have, irrespective. So if you want other people to start believing in you, guess what you have to do? Start believing in yourself. Get your self-worth up. Okay? Meet people. Build a network. This is how I express this, okay? Imagine, ever seen those US movies where there's a dance club, there's a pub, there's a bar, and the big bouncer standing outside, and there's a velvet rope, and if your name is on the list, he opens the rope and you go in? Seen that? Okay. In your mind, become that kind of bouncer, only that behind the rope is your network. Not a pub, not a club. And the moment you meet somebody interesting can be for any reason, right? Not just prospect, not just mentor, could be for any reason. Somebody you just like. Whenever you meet somebody interesting, open the rope and say, welcome to my network. Okay? You know how we feel when we think about the investments that we have, the house that we own, the car that we drive. So, is that 5 minutes or 10? Okay, I'll do it in 10, absolutely. The kind of feeling that we get when we... She's the boss. So... Okay, good. We can continue. Yeah, absolutely. Now, the kind of feeling that we get when we realize the assets, the car, everything that we have, the day you start getting that feeling about your network, that's the day game has changed. When you realize you've got amazing people in your network who believe in you, that's the day the game has changed. That's what we need to do. That's where we have to get at. Okay? Building great networks. Okay? If you want to solve today's problem, if you want to gain business today, don't do networking, do sales. Do sales that will get you much better return. Networking is a game of tomorrow, not of today. Build a network, get your network's trust, and they'll open doors for you. The moment they start to trust you, the moment they start to believe, they'll open the kind of doors for you that you cannot imagine. And it all starts with you. It starts with what you're going to do once you get out. Once you get out, the moment you're trying to approach someone, the fears will start to hit you again. What will I say? How will the other person respond? What if the other person doesn't give time? Okay? And that's the time where you have to tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about that person. And try it. I'm here for the rest of the day. I'm staying here tonight, okay? So I'm not running away, and I'm asking you to do this and come back to me. Do this and see if the other person asks about you or not. Give it a try. The recall value will be far higher. Far higher. Okay. Now, since we only have 10 minutes, let's do Q&A, if anybody has questions here. Okay, please. Can we get a mic there, please? Yeah. Short questions? I'll just answer yes or no, okay?
I just have one. See,
please.
I am into a niche segment, a server niche segment. Now, I just would like to understand, there is a misnomer that you should know as many people as possible. Personally, I don't agree with that. But what, according to you, is more important? To know how many people or to know who. You know,
Yeah, I do.
so what, according to you, is more important, considering that should you know the people who are, I won't say they are influential, but they are worthy enough, and same as what you said of opening the podium for people.
Okay, so since we're short on time, I'll give you my answer. I talk about a concept called 3D networking, three-dimensional networking. The number of people you know, the diversity. Okay, so if I'm an entrepreneur, I can't just know entrepreneurs. Okay, or I can't just know entrepreneurs at my level. I need to know entrepreneurs there as well, there as well. The diversity, number of people, the diversity, and the quality. These three have to align for you to really build a network. Okay, I know faculties, I know students, I know mentors, I know people that run TiE, I know different kind of people, and I am still building my network. But if you really want to build a great network around yourself, focus on the 3 dimensions.
And how do you define quality? What actually is quality?
Quality is the quality of relationship you share with them. Is it just a high-hello relationship? Okay, I'm going to give something very important there. One of the things that I do is, I've got one day that I call networking day. Every Thursday, I just do networking. I don't do any client meetings, nothing. I've got a database. I go to the database, I pick up the phone, and I call people and say, you know what, haven't met in a long time, how about a cup of coffee, no strict agenda.
So I'm going to allow one question per person.
Okay, yes, right. So start doing this, start spending time networking. Yeah? Real networking. Yes, please. Mike.
Hi, I'm Ritu. Chandigarh is a small place.
Yeah.
Suppose I walk to you and say, hi, how are you and what do you do? So probably that's insult for you.
Why?
Yeah, because the person feels that I'm big enough that people should know me.
Okay. Another concept. This is I'm going to be very quick on this. It's a very difficult concept to explain. But we suffer from this one thing called perception of perception. Yeah? Crazy thing, crazy thing. I have a perception that you have a perception about me. How crazy is that? I mean, it's like I'm not God, I'm double God. Being God would be like, I know what you really are, okay? And being double God is, I know what you really are and I also know what you think about me. No. See, this is your self-worth talking, and I'm going to challenge you here. This is what you think about yourself. You think that you're not valuable. You think that you're not valuable. I am probably the smallest business in the TiE Delhi Charter members list. Smallest business. I mean, if you pick the guy next to me, will be at least 15, 20, 30 times bigger in turnover than me. But I still walk in that crowd, I still sit with those people, I still meet them, I still work with them, they ask for my advice. Why? Because I believe in myself. You need to start believing in yourself. If you believe you're worthy of their time, they'll believe it too. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. Who's next?
Two more questions and we're done.
The boss says we're done. Done, absolutely. You said it's done. I'm not asking a question on that. Yes, please.
I was below and I went forward with the same strategy that you said.
Yeah.
You said that you have to go and talk to the person you are talking about. And I approached with the same strategy, and it turned out the person didn't have time. So my timing was wrong, or what do I have to do in that case?
Very good question. Ever heard of a 100% conversion ratio in anything? It's not there in networking as well. Okay? Sales may be doing it, business, there's no 100% conversion. Okay? The day I started networking, I first started by buying a franchise of a business networking platform. I had 363, and this is for you, 363 rejections before I got my first check. 363 rejections. Okay? The question is simple, are you going to give up? Don't. And everything that I've learned today, my rejections have taught me more than what my success has. Yeah? Keep going, no 100% conversion. Okay? Yeah, please, who's next? Yes.
I'm wondering if you have any suggestions on how to better manage global networks.
Okay. You're talking about online, offline. Do you travel? What do you do?
Online.
Online?
For example, my biggest networks are in Indonesia and the US.
Yeah. Okay. There's a concept that I teach in my programs which is called value letters. So you've heard a thing called newsletters? Yeah?
Not that. Value letters is again the email technology, but you use value letters to stay in touch with your network by creating value for them. So the people that I'm connected to, they get added to my mailing list by asking for their permission, obviously. Don't assume that you can just add anyone, not a good thing, okay? I add them and I share content with them in or around my domain that I believe will create value for them. Yeah? And I've got people around the globe that I stay in touch with. And once a month, maybe twice, no, it's once a month to my global network, I remind them that I exist and I keep scheduling coffee or Skype. Yeah? We meet over Skype. Sometimes I get up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning to have a Skype call with people. And my wife tells me, are you nuts? Like, what are you doing? And I keep telling her, I got to stay in touch with my network. And she's like, oh. She doesn't understand. So another important lesson you can teach anyone. I'm not going to complete the sentence because it's being recorded. Yes. Okay. Does that help? Yeah. We can talk more about that. All right.
Sir, I'll have one more. I'm sorry. I'd like to have one more example of how to build trust. How to get trust of your network.
Okay. So I'll give you my formula of trust. Okay.
I just heard of one example of having a meeting on some friend and asking him for a cup of tea. So
Okay.
I'm looking for
So-
some more examples.
I've already given 2 ways. Number 1 is always thinking, what can you do for other people? And number 3 is staying in touch. Okay, so these are 2 ways that I'll give you. You don't need a third. Okay, but I'll give you my formula of trust. Okay, when I started being a networking coach, I knew that till the time I could not help break trust into a formula, I'll not be able to really teach people how to build trust. Okay. And I was looking, and I came across this book. I've got this formula that I call 3 C's of trust. And I got 2 C's from this book called Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. Please pick it up. Please read it. Must read. Until my book comes out. When it comes out, then I'll say my book is a must read, okay? Yeah. So until then, Stephen Covey's book is a must read. So Stephen Covey says that it's your character plus your competence that defines your trust. Okay, a lot of us only bank on our competence, which is, oh, our product is so amazing, oh, our idea is so amazing, oh, our concept is so amazing. Everybody's banking on that and hoping that based on that they'll be able to build networks. Not true. Networks are built between human beings, not on ideas. Okay, so first comes in your character. You got to ask yourself what kind of character you want to showcase to your network. Okay, then you better be good at what you're saying, what you're good at. So these are 2 C's. The 3rd C I added, I realized that this is not complete. The 3rd C is consistency. So your network needs to be able to see your character and your competence consistently to trust you. That's how you gain trust of your network. Does that help? So she said only one question. Yeah, my pleasure. All right.
So I'm taking one more question, and just let me say that I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm winding this up. But you are very, very welcome to stay here and interact with Paritosh. So you can continue, but I will end it and then go down. Is that
Done.
fine?
She's hungry.
Cool. So yeah. So yeah. There.
I want to ask, what do you see the role of social network sites in real network?
So what's the role of social networking sites, right? Very important role. Extremely important. They are, they just cannot be discounted. There's a catch though. They're secondary. Primary is you and the offline networking. Okay? What we do with people on LinkedIn, we met anyone, add them on LinkedIn. And we feel happy about the number of connections we have. We're happy about the number of friends we have on Facebook. What do we do with them? Nothing. Nothing ever. Yeah? I've seen people on LinkedIn that they add ahead of their name. So for example, they would add Paritosh Pathak in bracket 20K connections on LinkedIn as if it's a reward or recognition. Yeah? Social media plays a very important role. It helps you build trust. You're able to showcase to your network, what are you doing? You're able to, you can use it to create value for people. But please note that it is not a substitute for offline networking. It works very well in combination with offline networking. But you've got to focus on offline networking. You've got to go out, you've got to meet people. If you're business owners, ask yourself, how much time of your day is truly productive? How much time in the day you just sit and you're scratching your head and you're wondering, how much time in the week? And I tell you, on an average, it'll at least be one day. If you stop doing that, one day will become free. And if just that one day you start networking, you go out and you meet people, the game changes. I train people, my clients are trained on networking only 4 days a month, that is it. And they're able to, I can give you recorded proof of this, testimonials from my client. 60 to 70% of the business grows by networking one day. And I'm not trying to sell to you, please. I'm just trying to share that this is how easy it is. Just one day a week. Don't go to office, just go network. You meet mentors here, anybody you meet, just say, you know what, I'd love to have a cup of coffee with you. Could you please give me some time? What is the worst gonna happen? No, I can't. That's it. क्या हो जाएगा? दौलत कम हो जाएगी, height कम हो जाएगी, ज़्यादा handsome हो जाओगे. Nothing's gonna happen. The world's gonna stay the same. Okay? The world's still gonna run, the sun is still gonna come out, the moon's still gonna come, everything's gonna happen. Walk up to people, believe in yourself and say, you know what, I'd love to get your advice. Can we please meet? I would really, 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 really appreciate it. When you talk to people from emotions, you know, many a times we've got this thought, oh, I don't want that person to see how desperate I am. I give you the contrary advice. Remove the word desperate, but show the person that you really need him. Connect with the person at an emotional level. Yeah? Go to the person and say, you know what, really, really, please, 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 can I get 20 minutes of your time? Just want to discuss something, want to get some advice, okay? Build a very strong network of your mentors. Get more. Tiger Woods needs mentors, coaches here. Yeah, everyone does, right? Does that, a slightly longish answer to a simple question, does that help? Okay, brilliant. Anything else? Yes, please.
Just a quick one on building networks intentionally with an agenda versus building network as your normal persona. Because what value you get is actually for people you have built networks over the years.
Yeah.
I think there's
What's the question? So far I've heard a statement.
yeah, so the question is that all the discussions we've had, like people think they should know them or how we should go about it. So I think sometimes is it that sometimes we can get too caught up in the strategy and whatever going to get out of it and not build a long-term investment in the
So are you saying that people get caught up in the long term or they get caught up in the short term?
in the short term?
Yeah, they do. That's exactly the pain point that I'm trying to address. We're all driven by the short-term transaction mindset. Yeah. For that, there's been a thing created called sales. Yeah, we got to go do that. A lot of people, very interesting, in a networking environment, they're actually trying to sell. They've come in hoping that, you know what, I'll give my card, somebody would buy. No, you want to do selling, go do selling. Out here, can you imagine what TiE has created for you here? For a moment, sit back and realize the lineup of speakers. I'm just fortunate, okay? But the other speakers, the kind of people, what they've achieved in life. How many of you have gone and spoken with them? How many of you have really said, you know what, love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you? How many of you have come to TiE and said that, you know, this is one person I would like to get mentoring from? We're not taking initiative. At least we're not taking enough initiative. Just imagine how much time will it take for you to get access to this lineup of speakers. You can't. You just can't. That's what TiE has created for you. Leverage it. And it's only what? It's ending at 6 o'clock, right? You've got only 4 more hours.
So that's why you have to rush now.
Yes. She's very hungry.
I'm not hungry, but I have to bring an end to this. You were complaining that you didn't have a room full, now you do.
I know.
You were complaining.
I'm always complaining.
Yeah, you were complaining that you had 20 minutes, you had 45.
Did I?
Yes, and here is a small memento for you. Everybody, a big hand of applause.
have to go now.
Rana ji.
Yes, I'm okay. I'm all right. Things